Perfect. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the media availability ahead of the WNIT. We have head coach Robin Pingeton joining us here. So, Coach, whenever you're ready, go ahead and start us off with an opening statement. Then we'll open it up to questions.
Well, hope you guys are doing well. Obviously, excited to still be playing some basketball. This last week has been really, really good for our team, and just seems rejuvenated, refreshed, and have really been having some great practices. Really trying to address some things on the defensive side of the ball. But I really like where our kids are at. I think they've been very engaged. They're working hard, and it feels good, to be honest with you. I just felt like after that last game, there was more. It didn't feel complete yet, and I'm excited about what's in front of us and the opportunity to get some more experience, for our players in postseason.
Okay, now we'll open it up for questions. Looks like first one, Colin O'Brien, Jeff City News Tribune. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. I think that 2015 run that you guys had was really helpful for the more veteran people on the team and setting up those 4 NCAA tournament runs. Just how are you going about approaching this as a chance to make the most of this opportunity and really help build for the future?
Well, there's a couple things. A lot of times people don't realize how strong, postseason WNIT can be. There's some really good teams in it. And I think anytime you get a chance to be in a tournament format is really beneficial too. But there's a couple things I think just for our team this year, to be able to finally get, a week and a half of practice under our belt and kind of fine tune some things and hopefully in the season playing the way we felt like we were capable of playing. Again, I think we addressed some really good things this week, and I'm really proud of the effort and the focus that our girls have had. But in addition to that, like you had mentioned, I think the opportunity, to get some more experience under our belt for the next season for our young kids is really, really important. And when you look at the last several years of WNIT play, you'll find a lot of those teams that are now in the NCAA tournament. So hopefully it will act as a springboard for our young kids, and we'll be able to learn and grow. And, at the end of the day, you just want to feel like you're playing your best basketball. And if a team better than you on that night beats you, it's still hard, but I think you can live with it a little bit more. But when you've got that empty feeling that you didn't quite let it all hang out, that's a tough feeling to sit on for the next 4, 5, 6 months.
Andrew Kaufman, KMIZ.
Coach, after the SEC tournament loss, you said, if it's WNIT year that you guys are going to go after to try to get a banner. I assume motivation for you guys is definitely probably not an issue going to the WNIT.
Well, I think everyone that's in it's probably trying to win a banner, right? I mean, and I think that's the beauty of March is anything can happen on any given night. And I think it's really important to get our players in a position where you respect everybody, but you fear nobody. There's going to be teams that we haven't faced that we don't know a lot about from different conferences. And so, if you want to win the war, you got to win the battles first. And that's one game at a time, one possession at a time, one quarter at a time. And so, no, I think our girls are really excited about what's in front of them. Obviously, we want to be in the NCAA. We want that to be the standard of our program. But we've got to control what we can control. And right now, this is where we're at. And to be able to embrace it and really make the most of it, I think our kids are excited about what's in front of them.
Ben Arnett, KOMU.
Robin, you've touched on this a little bit, but I wonder if you might delve in a little bit more into, kind of the why your team remains motivated here. It would have been really easy after everything everyone's been through this year to pass on the postseason, but you didn't. And when you talk to your players, what's really pushing them right now?
Well, I think just wanting to feel like, we played at the level that we're capable of playing at. And, this year was really challenging. And we've talked about this many times. It's been challenging. It's been a different journey for everybody in their own unique ways. And I think it benefited teams that had veteran leadership on their team. We had a lot of new faces. Obviously, we've got three, four, five new faces on that court that didn't have a chance to have, the summer workouts together to build that chemistry, the preseason workouts. And, it felt like an uphill battle the entire season. We didn't have a good foundation under us. But, I'm going to go back to Chop Wood, Carry Water, the book we read this summer, and it's about showing up every day and trying to be the best version of yourself, and growing and learning and embracing. And I think our kids really did that. And I think when I look at this team, we've had a lot of fun in the last week and a half of practice. And fun getting in the trenches. I mean, they're working their tails off. It's been intense. It's been challenging. We've shortened it up in the length of practice, but just as intense. And our girls have really responded. We've got kids that really love the game. I think they feel like we've got a lot of abilities and talents. And it's just a matter of putting it together. And so just the chance to play a game they love and care about and with people that they really care about, I think is exciting for them.
Eric Blum, Columbia Tribune.
Hey, Robin, hope you're doing well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was only Haley Troop that's currently on your roster that was a part of the 2019 team that went to Iowa City that played Drake in Iowa. And I'm not sure how much she got on the floor during that time. Just what is it exactly about postseason play that is valuable to this team long term and just getting in that WNIT environment?
I think the more games you can get under your belt, obviously, the better, right? And that's obviously a no-brainer. But I think when you're in a tournament format, survive and advance, it feels different. I think the excitement that surrounds postseason, and obviously there's a lot of buzz around the NCAA, but I think for the WNIT, there is too. And we've talked about some of those elite level teams, Michigan, Oregon State, that's where Arkansas was when Dungy was a sophomore and they made that run. I mean, there's some really elite level teams that have kind of had to pay their dues. And this is the next step for us. And so to be able to get into this and get that game-like experience in March Madness, I think it has huge benefits. And my hope is, and I already know, I mean, there's another level that we want to take this to, and I think we can. And I think this year of getting another year of experience under our belt has been really, really positive for us. And I think it'll help springboard us to where we want to get back to next year.
Shannon Belt, Columbia, Missouri.
Hello. Hey, Coach. Since you guys kind of just recently found out that you'll be playing Fresno State, how much do you know about the Bulldogs and just kind of what how their season went, that kind of thing? Since there's such a cross-coast team, how often do you keep up with teams outside of the SEC?
Not much, to be honest with you. And, we're just diving in on Fresno State. And so we're in the early stages of putting together a scout. The good thing is that there's so much information out there in, this day and age with synergy and access to game film. And so that's changed a lot over the years. And so, we'll dive in hard. And obviously, anybody that's in postseason, you've got to respect. This year, the WNIT field has been reduced from 64 to 32. And so, you got to imagine it got that much tougher in the WNIT, which is exciting. I really like the format they went to with four host sites, and just that tournament format within those host sites. So it's a little bit different, but we're excited. I think we're all excited to play somebody outside of the SEC, maybe teams that we're not familiar with, but they're not familiar with either, and to see how we match up against that.
Colin O'Brien, go ahead.
Yeah, Robin, you kind of led into my question a little bit, but I was going to ask, with no official seeding this year, did you get a sense for how the bracket was put together? And it looks like they gave you guys a couple of teams you haven't really played before in your quadrant.
I really had no idea how this was going to play out, and a little surprised, to be honest with you. I thought maybe we'd end up going to Rockford or to Memphis. Texas was not even on my radar. And so, a little surprised when that came out last night. but at the same time, feeling really grateful for the opportunity to, get to go on another road trip with this team and this group of young ladies. And I think, I like our bracket just from the standpoint of there's no crossover in there. These aren't teams that we're familiar with, and they're probably not familiar with us. And, I think a change of speed for us, which I think is really good. I will say again that everybody in this WNIT has a chance to win a banner. I mean, that's what March is all about. And, you've got to respect everybody. In Fresno State, honestly, in my first glance, reminds me a lot of a Florida Gulf Coast team from a few years ago when we played them. They just really do a great job of spreading out. They shoot the three ball exceptionally well. They can all shoot the three. They like to get up and down. And so, it's just going to feel different. It's going to look different, but that's what makes it so fun. And we're really looking forward to it.
And we'll finish up with Coach with a question from Ben Arnett. Go ahead, Ben.
Hey, Robin, with kind of the makeup of your roster, and then of course the NCAA ruling about eligibility and the possibility existing for virtually this entire group to come back next year if they want to, does this run into the WNIT almost feel like the beginning of something as opposed to the end of this season? Have an element of that maybe?
Well, and I it's so hard to tell, but how I'm personally feeling right now about our team and about what's, transpired over the last week and a half, it feels like this is what it was supposed to feel like at the beginning of the season. It really does. I mean, they're competing, they're getting after it. It's high energy. It's great focus. And I don't know what's really brought about that renewed sense of energy. I don't know if it's postseason. I don't know if we finally kind of figured some things out. But whatever it is, to me personally, it feels like we're in a position that I envisioned us starting the season at. And so I don't know if that's good or bad. There's been a lot of bumps in the road this year, and a lot of that stuff was out of our control, but I'm just excited where we're at today.
All right, that'll do it for Coach today. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate you.